Welcome to Lesson 4 in the Poet's Journal. Today's class begins with a writing exercise concerning nature. You should work on a list of ideas of things that you might find in the natural world. These things might be living or non-living. Just brainstorm a list of ideas. Here are a few that I came up with. I have plants, and then specifically oak trees and flowers and roses, rocks, rivers and streams, the Mississippi River, pine cones, mountains, specifically the Alps, and palm trees and the ocean or the Atlantic Ocean. And the leaves, fall makes me think of the leaves that are changing outside. Just add whatever non-living and living things that you might think of in the natural world to this list. Okay. And then on activity 4.1, once you finish that list, is going to ask you about some of these things. So you're going to think about a time when you visited somewhere or you spent time in nature, and you're going to answer the questions in the Poet's Journal 4.1. Think about an experience that you had in nature. I'm going to start here on page 37. Look over the list of natural items your teacher wrote down. Also, think about the ones that you added. Using this list or your own memory, think about a time when you saw, visited, or otherwise experienced something in nature that made a big impression on you. Recall your memory of that experience and use it to answer part 1. Number 1, where were you? I put the Grand Canyon, but of course yours is going to have to do with your memory. What was the part of nature you experienced? I was looking at the rocks at the Grand Canyon. Did you experience this through smelling, tasting, touching, seeing, or hearing? Use your senses. Write 1 to 2 sentences to describe what it was like experiencing it this way. So I experienced mine through seeing. The sunset made the rocks look yellow and blue, purple, orange, and red. And I was so wrapped up in the colors that I was seeing on the rocks that I forgot that I was hungry. It was dinner time and I forgot all about it. Number 4, how did this experience change your thoughts, feelings, or actions? Well, it changed my feelings. Like I said, I forgot that I was even hungry. And it changed my feelings because it made me appreciate the colors that you can find in nature. When a lot of times when I think of a rock, I think of something gray or brown. But in this case, seeing all of the colors on the rocks made me think about nature in a different way. So using your answers for questions 1 through 4, condense your information into 2 or 3 sentences that tell a brief story. So I'm basically going to take the information that I've already written and then just combine it to a small story. I visited the Grand Canyon. I remember how the sunset made the rocks appear yellow, blue, purple, orange, and red. I forgot that I was hungry for dinner and just stood a long time to observe the colors. So now for part 2, you're going to take what you read and then also the information that I gave you, because we're exchanging stories here. So I gave you my story, you're going to take your story and then answer the following questions. How did your lists of experiences differ? List as many ways as you can that your experience in nature was different from your partner's. I want you to contrast here. Tell me how they are different. Your experience from my experience, how is it different? And then on number 7, you'll tell me, what did your expectations have in common? I want you to compare them to tell me how the 2 things were similar or equal. List as many ways as you can that your experience in nature was similar to mine. And that is Poet's Journal 4.1.